She says that there is an agency, a marketing agency, that is in need of a marketer. Okay, it's a marketing agency. So what they do, they deal with billboards and marketing. Okay, basic marketing. Okay, but they need a marketer, all right, who's supposed to bring business. So happen ni business to business. Okay, so if you have any experience in B2B, the position is urgent, tena vibaya sana. Yani kazi inataka tu mtu lakini mtu hapatikani. So maybe kama hii kazi ni yako, if you have the interest on such a position, let me give you the email where you can send your CV now as you await shortlisting. All right. So send your CV to JILL at Ankil, which is ANKIL solutions .com. Tuko pamoja? JILL at ANKIL solutions .com. Leo my L haitatoka. Leo L, I think because of baridi ya maji haitatoka. So L itakuwa na struggle. Ukisikia tunasema L, ukisikia R, jua tu ni R. Lakini ukisikia nasema L, jua tu ni L. Jua tu ni L, sawa? Lakini haitatoka. Bosibori, what did you say, Maish? Hi Nyawe, about the digital marketing, I sent you my CV and sample work. Okay. I'll look at that tomorrow and I'll give you feedback. Sawa? So Maish, thank you so much. But if you write an email on the comment section, make sure at your email unaandika kama AT na dot unaandika kama DOT. Write them in words. Juzi nimepost job ya cleaner, trying to call up to date number ni mteja, which hata sijui ni gani. But let me tell you, sometimes like Jana, if you're on my live Jana, there's this lady who shared a position here 2 days ago. That post had about 10,000 views, and she also shared that position on the live. Okay, so she was here yesterday to say she's not complaining, but please take off the post. Why? She's found people, but she's still getting calls, and the number that's being called is a personal number. Okay, so could be such a case. Sometimes when you post a position napata so many people are calling, utapata hata kampuni inazima simu. Ama mwenye alipost kama ni personal anazima simu because there's so many calls coming. Mimi mwenyewe nitakwambia get calls mpaka midnight, saa 9 ya usiku, saa 11, but if my phone has not rung by 5 a.m, there's a problem. If you ask any of my peers, they'll tell you that if my phone has not rung by 5, 6, kuna shida. So I understand. So sometimes if you call a position napata simu go through, wachana nayo, move on to something else. Sawa? Una move on to. Nasema tu ni sawa, haikuwa yangu, tuende nalo. If there's no response even after sending your CV, just ignore it. Haikuwa yako, si ndio? Bila feelings, unaiacha tu. So Lil, tujaribu nyingine. Pana kuchoka. So kuna NGO inatafuta 30 facilitators. 30 facilitators, okay? 30 facilitators ni NGO. So even wanasema if you are passionate about mentorship and working with young people and you're looking for experience to not only work but also improve your facilitation skills, this is the right opportunity for you. Okay. So wanajiita Hatua Network. Hatua Network ni NGO. Wanataka kumetuma CV yako before 8th of March, tarehe 8. Okay. Qualifications is you enjoy working with secondary school youth, you have passion, you're based in Mombasa County. Hatua Network, yes, that's the company. You're based in Mombasa County. Ini kazi yenu Mombasa people. So enda kwa website ya Hatua Network. Wanataka 30 people, 30 facilitators. Okay, so go try that out and I wish you the very best. Akinya natafuta mara mob inbox mara email. Nitafute kwa WhatsApp. Sawa? Nitafuta kwa WhatsApp. I hope uko sawa Irene. Hope uko sawa. Anonymous, mnifollow nitafollow. Sawa. Okay, so moving ahead. So there is what? We're not reading that one. Hiyo tumeacha. May God bless you for what you're doing. Si rahisi mtu kujitolea hivi. Asante Sylvia. Nashukuru. I'm just nervous about a certain situation. Oh, okay. Can you text me, Irene? Text me. Send me a text, not on WhatsApp. Like on the number, ile text message, just text me hapo kwa number. Usiende kwa WhatsApp. All the text ukuja kwangu directly, by the way. If you're having a challenge kunipata WhatsApp, because sometimes sina direct control ya WhatsApp, just text me. All text ukuja kwangu, nitaweza kuziona. And text, by the way, are private. I'm the only person who can see any text yenye umetuma kwa hiyo number. WhatsApp, my PAs wanaweza ona. So if you have a challenge and you need to speak to me or talk to me directly, nitumie text. Sawa. Moving on. So ni text. Takuwa nangoja text yako Irene. Whatever inakusumbua. Hakuna kitu kubwa, si ndio? Alright, so moving ahead. Nyawe kuna job thika. Tutaangalia pamoja. Si ndio? Tutaangalia pamoja. Alright. Tuko na kazi ya nini? Kazi ya supervisor. Analipwa 30,000 Kenya shillings. 30,000 Kenya shillings. Ukuwe na diploma ama degree. Ushaifanya kazi kama supervisor kwa any hospitality industry. Tuma CV yako to alfajiri staffing@gmail.com. If you're a newbie, usikie nimesema nukta. Nukta means dot. Sawa? alfajiristaffing@gmail.com. Thank you, Mary. Alright, so moving ahead, we have a hotel waiter and waitresses. This position is based in Eldoret. So if you're within LD and you can work as a waiter, I'm a waitress, I want you to send your CV to ELDRIFT consultancy@gmail.com. Alright, the other job we have is a what? USAID. Alright, USAID wanatafuta monitoring and evaluation learning specialist. Okay, do you have for cargos? Have shared with you another one, have been sent just now. Thank you, Chuck. I'll look at it and share it right away. Monitoring and evaluation and learning specialist. Please go to their website, that is USAID. Kama uko kwa NGO, sindio? Take the opportunity. Alright, so we also have a finance officer. This position is based in Nanyuki. Finance officer. Deadline is supposed to be tarehe 8th of March. So you may have a degree, ama diploma in finance, ama commerce, based in Nanyuki or can work in Nanyuki. Tuma CV yako to East Corp recruitment@gmail.com. East Corp is CORP recruitment@gmail.com. All the best. I'm just laughing at my eyes. Social workers. So Nairobi Hospital inatafuta social workers. So if you have a degree in social work, ama counseling, okay? Uko na diploma in counseling ama psychology, and then you must be registered also. 5 years of experience. Hata kama uko na 2 ijalishi, si ndio? Send your CV to tuone email. Deadline is supposed to be Deadline is supposed to be tomorrow. Send your CV to recruitment at NBI, recruitment at NBIHOSP dot nukta org. Recruitment at NBIHOSP nukta org. Where do I send the money when I want you to revamp my CV? Rajan, just chat me on my number 0702 622 961 0702 622 961. Alright, just chat me on that number. Then Kemri pia wanatafuta field assistant. Kemri field assistant. Deadline itakuwa 19th of March. That is Kemri. Please enda kwa website yao. Hiyo kazi kwa website yao. Ni inakaa ni siku yenu watu wa NGO. What's happening? Maombi? What's happening? I love this. I love this one. Where do I send any job communication related or agent? Tutaendelea kuisoma. Kuja job, kuna job timeline 4 days ago ya LD front office agent. Is this still available? I think send your CV. If it's still available, watakuita. Sindio? Lorak. I'm not very sure, but we can find out tomorrow. Sindio? Kuja kwa live kesho tutakuwa tumejua. Tunaweza uliza kama iko kwa wapi kwa Eldoret ama kwa wapi? NGO jobs available. Inakaa ni siku yenu watu wa NGO. I don't know what's happening. But then the whole of last week has been NGOs. Leo naona ndio mingi NGO, which is good. Then kuna Choice Bank. Choice Bank wanatafuta senior FX dealer. Senior FX dealer. Qualifications ni first degree in business ama commerce, 5 years of experience, 3 years in a busy treasury department, experience ya sales ama service, ukuwe na proper relationships na clients, credit applications, skills under those areas. Tuma CV yako to HR@choice-bank, which is bank. Bank imekataa kutoka leo. Bank. Imekubali. bank.com. HR@choice-bank.com. Sawa? .com. Wish you the very best. Tuendelee na NGO hivyo. Today seems like a good day. Then tuko na AMREF Flying Doctors. AMREF Flying Doctors wanatafuta flight operations intern. That's a good job, sindio? Flight operations intern. Wow. This is good. Ama vipi? So, flight operations intern. Deadline is supposed to be 10th of March 2024. Please tap ndio tusianze kuhang. Sindio? Yep. Okay, uko LD. Ujafanya interview? Ama bado? Maybe wajanza interviews. Okay. So, flight operations intern. Deadline is 10th of March. Please go to their website. Okay? Website yao ni gani? Website yao ni AMREF. AMREF. Flying Doctors. Flying Doctors. Go to that website and apply for that job. Flight operations interns. Sawa? All the best. Msisahau Strathmore University wanatafuta finance administration manager. They also have other opportunities. Please go to their website for that. Fika kwa website yao. Make an application. Sindio? Alright, there's a job here that has been shared by a friend. It's quite a number. Quite a number. From admin, fundraising and partnership. Is zote ni za NGO. Content strategies, remote position. But the most of these jobs are remote. So if you're interested, okay, kuna kazi ya data digitization, junior consultant, development assistant, IT, head of communications, database and development assistant at Climate Science Legal Defense Fund. Most of these jobs need remote, okay? So I want you to go to my LinkedIn account, which is Miss Nyawira Geeks main account. I've just shared those jobs. Go check them out. Most of them ni intern, eh? Alafu Java wanatafuta IT intern. IT intern. Pia ya Java nimetuma kwa LinkedIn page yangu. Ukienda kwa LinkedIn tafuta Miss Nyawira Geeks. Alafu hapo mwisho kuna jina main account, okay? Pick that one. Niko na accounts mbili pale. Pick the main account, eh? All the best. So kama uko West and you're comfortable to earn 130,000, there's a hotel that's looking for a reservation executive. Reservation executive that's going to earn 130,000 per month. All right. Experience in reservation, 2 years of experience. All right. Hospitality degree diploma will do, but basically experience. Send your CV to African Mirage, MIRAGE 1 at gmail.com. African Mirage 1 at gmail.com. Sorry about your finance yezirudia, because already nishatoka pale. Sawa. Maybe kesho kama nitaipata tena. Strathmore University pia wanatafuta data analytics research associate. Data Analytics Research Associate. Please go check it out on their websites. Kuna kazi zingine, kazi kama za bank. I don't read the email. Kazi kama za university kama Strathmore, USIU, I don't just read them. I'll just send you to their website. Ndio uangalie JD, because the JDs are also complicated. Pia kazi ingine kuna na JD complicated ni Nairobi Hospital pia. I don't read them. I'll just send you to their website. Go check them out and apply. All right. Then we also have, what's happening today? Today is just NGO, fine. Hey, there's a different one. For once, debt collectors. Hii ni ya kila mtu. Debt collectors. Kampuni inaitwa Onfon, ONFON, mobile. ONFON, mobile, wanatafuta debt collectors. Unafaa utume CV to careers at, kumbuka debt collectors ni kazi inaweza fanywa na anyone bora umefika form 4. Sawa? Haina ubaguzi. Bora umefika form 4 unaweza fanya hii kazi. So on phone mobile, mobile not media. Tuma CV yako to careers at ONFON mobile .com. When I say nukta, I mean dot. Sawa? .com. All the best. Tuangalie ile kazi yenye imetumwa na tuitafute tena by chalk. All right. Check sijana kazi nyingine bado. Oh, okay, yeah, imefika. There's an operations manager. Operations manager. Tuone the role. Operations manager. If you have a degree in finance ama accounting, okay, you're good at QuickBooks, Excel, 3 years of experience in finance ama accounting, generating financial data, compiling and submitting reports, analyzing industry trends, and assessing the financial health of the company. The rest, not important. Send your CV to that position is an operations manager under finance. Send your CV to JILL at ANKIL solutions.com. Jill amesema hizi positions ni urgent, si ndio? Ya kwanza ilikuwa marketer, ya pili operations manager, si ndio? So JILL@ANKIL solutions nukta ama .com. Nikisema nukta jua ni dot, si ndio? Kumbuka that if you're here for the first time, karibu sana Chok. If you're here for the first time, drop your CV for a free review on my WhatsApp number. Namba yangu ya WhatsApp ni 0702622961. Usikuwa unatuma CV yako nje, alafu inaenda wapi? Kwa trash. If you want to increase your chances at having your CV reviewed, consider review. Have your CV checked. And if your CV needs some revamping, consider revamping. Most of us are home because of a CV. If you've been on my live, you'll see how many people get jobs right after revamp. You'll be surprised. So drop the CV to 0702622961 and it's free review. Sindio? Mkirevamp CV mnatupa wapi? Through WhatsApp or email. Either, Leisha. You can have your CV back via email or WhatsApp. It doesn't matter. Email is a must because you'll be able to get it later. But if you still want the CV shared on WhatsApp, we'll still share it on WhatsApp. But email is easier for your retrieval in the future. If I give it to you on WhatsApp, you lose your phone, it's gone. Sindio? You end up losing it. So email anytime. Alright, so we have ITEL wanatafuta UI/UX designer. Nyawira, sorry. CV revamp is not free. CV review is free. Checking of a CV, and I think I have reviewed your CV, Nyawira. Revamp is what I charge 2,000, and I don't do them. I don't do CV revamps, I only check. Sawa. Yeah, I have HRs who do CV revamps. I tried that, man. Niliona nitaanguka. I just can't. So I use other people for revamp. But review, I do reviews. My team reviews or I review. Revamp, we use a different team for revamp. Because revamp is rewriting the CV and you need someone who has enough time on her hands, which I don't have. So, alright, moving on. Let's see what else we have. An accountant position, as well as, this is a repeat, still another accountant. Please read my comment. What's your comment, Saumu? Comment yako, please add me kwa WhatsApp. I've tried to contact you with no response. That's because it's been the weekend. There's no one on WhatsApp at the moment, but it will be done tomorrow. So if you made a request to be added to WhatsApp as from Saturday, it will be done from tomorrow. Sawa? Yeah, it will be done from tomorrow. So just simply send it again, or maybe make another request on WhatsApp. Kesho watu wakiingia ofisi, then utaongezwa, sindio, kwa WhatsApp. So if you'd like to join our WhatsApp groups, do the same. Just send a request on my number 0702622961. Sema tu Nyawe niongeze kwa WhatsApp group, utaongezwa. Operations manager position, please read my comment. Email the operations manager position chapter. You want me to reread it, ama? Antangalia. What of diploma in finance? Yeah, go for it. Your LinkedIn account ndio gani? Miss Nyawira Geeks main account. Miss Nyawira Geeks main account. Reservation executive ya Westlands. The email was africanmirage1@gmail.com. africanmirage1@gmail.com. Nukta means dot, So remember, because of my eyes, I don't want to expose them to the light for too long. Ndio kesho nikuwe sawa. So because of that, get a pen and a paper. Make it easier for you to write emails. Then I don't have to repeat. Sindio? If you see Dr. Hubert, please let me know. Gifts are fun. Thank you. Mi hautuma hiyo request kila siku, but hamjani add. Tuma tena. Nitumie email ya kutuma CV. Email email gani Petra ama ni number? Job ya reception ama customer service? I read them every single day, Regina and Valentine. Craft, anyone with electrical jobs? Check YouTube. Yesterday I shared an electrical position by a very good company. Check YouTube kesho kitu saa sita once they've posted the video. Add me kwa WhatsApp group. For WhatsApp, request on 0702 622 961 0702 622 961 utaongezwa. Embassy jobs, African Mirage wamerudia position. I think you mean wamerudia. Yes, they have, yeah. Connection ya health. Ukiona kampuni ina share a job twice, inamaanisha kupata the right candidate. Namba yako please, nitarudia. I give up, kindly see my comments. Sisu sijui what you're giving up on. Wacha ku give up electrical. Unauliza any driving jobs, ni mbona wasema una give up? If you're a driver, go to my YouTube page, Miss Nyawira Gigs on YouTube. Last week alone, I read about 4-5 jobs as drivers. Last week. And those positions are still open. Even jana. Nisoma kazi ya shule fulani natafuta dereva. Na pia kulikuwa na company ilikuwa nataka dereva 10 pia. 10 drivers. So go to my YouTube page tomorrow, Miss Nyawira Gigs on YouTube. Sikiza hizo video zote. Hautakosa kazi ya driver, sindio? That is if you missed my last week's lives. The accountant position you didn't finish reading. Kweli? Okay. Oh yeah, sijamaliza. I have 2 accountant positions. It's just that I opted to respond to some questions ndio tuendelee. Ya Westlands ilikuwa African Mirage 1, unaandika in digit kama number 1, African Mirage 1 @gmail.com. Ndio hiyo ilikuwa ya reservation. It was a reservation officer in Westlands. Which other? Actual science nimeona. Nitarudia account. Have I left out any of your comments? Please let me know. Kabla niendelee. I was very disappointed. Ni wapi yuko? Painting, maintenance, mgeni watu yuko wapi? Pia mimi namgoja. Hotel, African Mirage, Embassy. Okay. All right. I think I've responded. Have I left out anything? Please let me know. I think I'm okay. Sindio? Okay. So moving ahead. What did I leave out? Ishal. Nimeacha nini? Yes, job ya PR. Sijasoma yote bado PR. So niko na accountant positions 2. Remote jobs nimesema uende kwa LinkedIn page yangu. I've shared a number of them. So I'll go to my LinkedIn page, Miss Nyawira Gigs, main account. Telegram, iko tu hapo lakini I don't use Telegram. I don't know why. I cannot even explain why. In fact, I don't even have Telegram on any of my devices. So, sijui kwa nini. Yeah. But you have an account, Miss Nyawira Gigs on Telegram. My team shares jobs. I don't even remember the last time I checked it, but iko. Namba yangu ya simu Bruno kabla unichape ni 07 02 07 02 622 961 07 02 622 961. Yeah, use my YouTube channel. That's okay. That will do, Regina. Are you not able to... Do you come to my lives? I think I've seen you here, Regina. I think I've seen you here. Yeah, you can also use my WhatsApp, Regina 0. This is my number. Thank you, Aishal. Allow me to pin this. Hopefully TikTok hawataiona. Can the revamping guys make a CV to attract NGO jobs? Yes. So let me respond to that question. That's a very good question. If you spot a job and you'd like to customize your CV to fit that job, if you want to increase your chances of getting that job, you need to do something called CV customization. Okay, this is where you get your CV fixed to fit that position. We don't lie. Okay, we don't lie. We just ensure that your CV is the closest to the JD, okay? And also give you an ATS compliance system. Makes it easier for you to get an opportunity. Sawa. So if you have a CV, you spot a job, just drop it and drop the JD. That's the job description, and say nyawe ama the poster, JD ama poster. Say nyawe, this is my CV, this is the job, okay? What do you think? Can we customize this CV to fit this position? What do you think? First thing tutareview, tutakwambia kama unaweza ama uwezi. Like today I got the lady. There's a lady who sent me her CV today. She's within customer service, and the position was a HR position. So outright nilimwambia tu hii haiwezi. You know, we're not here to mint money, hii haiwezi. Because you have no skills, you don't have the HR skills. So of course they're not going to give you that position. But if you spot a job, you're within the same field, and you want your CV customized, just send it to us. Hata kama tushare revamp, we can always customize it. Makes it easier to get a job. Sawa? So utasema kwa customer service ni kucustomizea CV ni kufanyia daktari. Alafu kifika kwa operation table utafanya. I cannot customize your CV and lie. So make sure you're within the same field. Yes, we can. Sawa? Yes, we can always customize. Lakini usinitumie CV wewe ni medic unataka nikutengezee CV ya pilot. Haitaweza, nitakudanganya. Takuwekea hapo kila kitu lakini practicals zero. So I don't do that. Yes, but if you have a job within your field ama something slightly off kidogo lakini unaweza inafanya because maybe kuna skills within the same area ama umefanya certificate zenye zina support unaweza fanyia kazi, then in that case tuma nitaku advise. Na ikiwezekana to customize CV na upate job. Yeah, for us it's just to make sure that HR amespot CV yako among the first CVs anaangalia. Si ndio? Na amekushortlist for interviews. For us ni interviews kwanza. Ama vipi? Niko Nairobi, nimefanya business admin looking for opportunities. Don't you worry, msupa. Uko at the right place, si ndio? Garden City Business Park. Uko ndio ulienda ukakuwa disappointed ama ni wapi? If you're done with revamp, no, customization is not free because it means a HR has to sit with your CV and the JD and do a lot of research and make sure that they give you a proper CV. So yeah, it's charged. But then ndio peana free services. My services are free. If I interview prep you, the 20 minutes it's free. I don't charge you. If I review your CV, it's free. But anytime I have to use an external party, in most cases I have to pay them. Sawa? In most cases I have to pay them. Because mtu anakuambia nyawe hiyo ni time yangu. Hiyo ni time yangu. Itabidi unilipe. Sawa? So we have an accountant position. And these are two positions. Alright? First position, kama wewe ni accountant, kona BCom. Alright? 5 years of experience, CPAK ama ACCA. Same thing as the other position. The first job, accountant, tuma CV yako to recruitment at hr.co.ke. Sawa? Aya pili, tuma CV yako to jobs at kazi world world safaris Kenya .com. Nyawe, is it true that it could be yeah, you don't have to put referees on your CV. Yeah, you don't have to. Sio lazima. Kama unataka sawa, kama utaki sio lazima. Yeah. Christine inbox. Oh, okay, that's to somebody else, not me. Alright, so moving on. So I want to remind you, I don't know if you guys have been here. I've mentioned about the UN and several opportunities zenye ziko UN. Nani amefanya application UN ama PSC? Anybody? Public Service Commission? Part-time job for an ex-army? Maybe bouncer ama nini unaweza fanya, but unajua unaweza kuwa skilled, unaweza kuwa skilled ama experienced in a certain area. I would love to hear that. Kama umetuma CV UN ama PSC, hebu inua mkono ni kuone. Na kama hujatuma tunapigana. Utaniambia kwa nini? Mbona huja apply kazi PSC? Mbona huja apply kazi UN? PSC and UN, good job. Ash, good job. PSC I have applied. PSC. Mbona UN inawalemea? ATS friendly CV ukaaje? ATS friendly CV. tafuta kwa Google utaiona. But UN ni ya watu wa graphics. UN nilisema uende utafute kazi ya team assistant, inachukua watu wa form 4. UN kazi ya form 4 kama umefika form 4. UN iko na so many jobs, na ile ya chini kabisa ni team assistant. Ninatafuta mtu akumefanya form 4 certificate peke yake. Guys, so you guys know that UN is moving its offices to Kenya. So you know that from New York to Kenya. So they need lots of people. They'll be hiring people in numbers. And they need our team assistants na watu wa hizi levels inasoma hizi kazi inasoma. You need it at the UN. So send your applications. Ama mjasikia, have you heard about the rumors, the UN? Have you heard them? Email ya UN please. Even admin assistant. Yes, ziko. Admin assistant, I remember seeing procurement. I remember seeing accounts. Yeah, I saw them. Not yet. You guys have not heard about the rumor ya UN? Ingia to TikTok, just Google UN relocating. Yes, so it's relocating to Kenya, and it's bringing in a large number of employees, thousands of employees from New York to Kenya. So they need lots of people. Hizi positions za chini, kina admin, kina team assistant, ni watu tutaenda kutrainiwa. They'll place you in different opportunity, in different departments. So they need as many people as possible. And guess what? Inaweza kuwa ni usafi nini, and it pays very well. Number 1, number 2, wanataka tu form 4 certificate. What are you waiting for? Unangoja? What are you waiting for? You can only apply through their Inspira for those asking for the email address. Thank you. Yeah, so I saw team leader's position in Nairobi. See? It is okay kuweka photo on your CV. Yes, it is. Very professional photo. So kama uko na interest ya UN, nilisema enda tu kwa website yao, careers. It's a website or a portal, either careers.un, alright, .org. Guys, you really have to try your kazi ya UN na PSC. Kama we ni follower nyawe, lazima uapply UN PSC, sindio? careers.un ama nukta na maanisha .org. Tuko sawa? UN kwangu ilikataa, nilijaribu kuopen. Leo nimesaidia. I got contacted by you guys. I got over 10 people. Leo nimesaidia about 10 people ku apply. Yeah, UN. Na imagine watafuta tu form 4 certificate. When is the last time ulisikia UN inapatia watu kazi na wanaangalia form 4 certificate peke yake? Hebu jiulize ni lini mwisho ulisikia. It's been longer. They look for certification and stuff and skills. But this time around, your kazi ya team assistant, just form 4 certificate. What are you waiting for? Leo usilale kama uja apply UN, sindio? Na ukipata job uniambie. PSC, haikuwa inaonekana jana na juzi. So I don't know kama wamepost tena. We're still waiting to add kwa group CCI forms. You'll be added from tomorrow. The team is at home for the weekend, but kutoka kesho utaongezwa, sindio? Can you remove the other experience to match the team assistant? Smart. That is a smart move, tena sana. Tena sana. Yes, tena sana. So for the UN, careers.un ama nukta .org. careers.un ama nukta .org. Enda kwa website, create a profile. So you need to fill details pale vizuri. Alafu tuma CV yako afterwards. Sindio? Nimekutext inbox nyawe. Nitaangalia. So moving on. Chatona, what else we gonna read? It seems Dr. Hubert hakuji huku kwetu. I don't know what's happening. Hubert, uko wapi? Thank you so much, Wairimo Mwangi. Ndio hii, hata kama umeweka the wrong way ni sawa tu. Kabla TikTok wa notice, tutakuwa tumesoma. So watu wa UN ndio site. Just Google that. Okay? Just Google that very fast. Make sure you apply. Make sure your sisters, your brother, your uncles, your auntie, your mothers, your father, what Mr. Kikujua, make sure they send their CVs kule. Nyawe, if I send you my CV, can you revamp it, do cover letter and apply for me the UN job? Application a UN job is detailed. It needs a lot of work, okay? what we can do for you is revamp, give you a cover letter, and then we can guide you on the portal. Sawa. So get in touch with me on WhatsApp. What is the most important? Noel, what do you mean? I'm sure soon I'll testify in Jesus' name. Amen to that. The job concentration is on the high note. Ingia hapa. Leo niko na shida ya macho, so ingia tu. What is the most important thing to do on your profile summary? Okay. I've been here for 30 minutes. Oh, wow. Mi nadhani hauko hapa. You mean application UN tutoe hizo diploma na the rest tubaki na form 4 certificate. Is that vacancy cleaner? No. You are UN, what I would advise is usitoe degree na usitoe diploma. Anything above that unaweza toa. Sawa? Usitoe degree, usitoe diploma. Wacha ibaki na form 4 certificate. Ingine unaweza toa. Sawa? Yes, but apply team assistant. But pia kumbuka, watafuti team assistant peke yake. They have other positions. It's just that hizi fungua sahi kusoma. Kuna kazi zingine ziko Kenya. Okay, so angalia kama kazi yako haiko, then now unaweza apply team assistant. Sindio? Yeah, is that vacancy for the cleaner still there? I'm not sure. Hata sikumbuki ni gani niliapply ya cleaner, niliweka ya cleaner. You know, I share so many jobs in a day that it's so hard to remember. Sorry, it's so hard to remember. So I think just send your CV. Just send your CV for the better. Noel, what did you say? What is the most important thing to add on your profile summary in a CV? Was that meant for me? Profile summary is just a highlight of your career. Okay, it's a highlight of your career. Anytime you're sending a CV, that is a bit that needs to change. Okay, so look at your CV and your experience. What experience favors the position you're applying towards? Okay, so that profile summary is just like a cover letter bit. You're supposed to convince the recruiter that you're the right candidate for that position. And that's why you need to have a very strong profile on your CV. Okay, the profile matches the cover letter. Lakini now cover letter gives you more time to express yourself. It gives you space because cover letter sasa ni longer. Okay, so you shorten it. Make sure whatever you write on the profile inakufavor. HR akifungua tu CV, but the first thing kama mika HR nikifungua, that's the first thing I look at. Nikiona huyu bado hii kazi, we move on to something else. Nyawe ya sales executive, can I see the link huko LinkedIn? I'll check. Ni kama kujiuza, thank you. Si kujiuza, advertising yourself. Marketing. Yeah, marketing, advertising, yes. It's more of an advert. That's the first thing a HR reads. HR akifungua CV yako, the first thing on a date of birth, bedhe anachoka. Anaona mwekea date of birth, ID number, you know your personal information. They're not interested in that. The first thing should be your profile. Sell kabisa. HR akifungua anasema wow. So she did 1, 2, 3. In this other company she has these skills. Wow, okay. So unajaribu kuonyesha HR ile gap ako nayo pale kazini. Unajua HR may have a position, okay? But still the position may be a bit complicated, okay? There's still areas, you know, fitting, or rather finding a candidate that really fits a position is tough for any HR. So they look at, or rather they shortlist candidates that fit the position better than the rest. So the question, pale Hubert, I'm about to end this. If you attended Hubert's live the other day, he was talking about value. Sindio? So kwa profile unafaa usell value yako. Okay? Ndio HR akiangalia anasema, Nyawe, nikipatia Nyawe anaweza fill position ya marketing kidogo, anaweza fanya HR, anaweza waka supervisor. Like in real sense, Nyawe anakama na fill gap vizuri. So Nyawe fits this role vile mimi nataka. Then you're shortlisted. But akiangalia tu CV on a profile, ama hakuna ta profile, anza kutafuta experience, anajaribu kusoma, but there's a CV unapewa, unatafuta experience ya mtu hauoni, unatafuta education uko like unapanda zero, hauoni anything. that's exactly how you end up missing out on opportunities. So make sure you have a very strong CV. Can I send my CV for a revamp if it's free? CV review is checking is free. Revamp rewriting is 2,000, okay? But revamp checking is totally free. Send it to 0702 622 961 and allow me to have you but take over. As you can see my eyes today, so that tumalize mapema tulale. I'll be live tomorrow morning. I'll hold a morning live at around 11 a.m. So see you at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And then I'll also have another live usiku. So make sure you're here kesho. So now, can you apply multiple positions kwa PI? Utakuwa disqualified. Just target one position. Find one position and target that. Sawa? Yeah, don't apply 4, 5, 6 position ama hata mbili. Try one role. Tuenda CCI kesho, msikose kwenda CCI kesho. Please go. Na mkikatazwa opportunity, sema mnaenda specific talent, na kulikuwa ni wapi kwingine tunaenda kesho? There's one more interview tomorrow that I'm forgetting. A call center. Ni call center gani iko na interviews kesho? Finley, was it Finley? Debt collectors ama? Ni gani ilikuwa na interviews kesho? Who remembers? There's a company that has interviews tomorrow. There's one. Was it Finley? It was Finley. Yenye kwa Mombasa Road pale GM. So ukienda CCI ukatazwe ruka matatu. Rukia matatu hadi Mombasa Road, ingia Finley, si ndio? Ingia Finley, just google it, iko tu online utaiona. Enda hapo GM, ulizia tu Finley, ukiingia tu hapo GM, ulizia Finley, jaribu Finley kesho. Tuone, so tunataga tukifika Finley mambo ikatae, gari mpaka Upper Hill. Nakupatia plan ya kesho. Gari mpaka wapi? Upper Hill. Upper Hill, enda specific talent, wacha CV. Alafu sasa wachie God. Sasa tungoje Tuesday, si ndio? Have sent for my daughter. That's okay. Mtu anaenda interview hivyo tu bila kuapply. Hapa sisi get crush. Sisi watungoje kuitwa interview. Charlene, hi, how are you? You can chat me on WhatsApp, Charlene, now. You better kiendelea. Forms aje, mbebe CV, muende. Ukikatazwa kuingia unaenda kwingine, si ndio? Hiyo hapa hili ni gani tena, inaitwa specific talent, ni kampuni yenye recruit on behalf of Quickmart. I am heading you but hi. How are you?
I'm okay. No, I'm just listening in. I always say it's better when everything is going on. You and jobs in USA.
No.
When you're on the careers part of the UN site, sieve the region. You have to sieve a specific region, which country you want the jobs in. Just sieve it, and it will give you. You check the duty station. If you check on the duty station, there are quite a number of countries, and then you can decide to choose Nairobi or whatever. So that's okay.
All right. How about you, Hubert? Make an intro.
For me today, it will be a very brief one because, like, as I mentioned to you, sorry, my name is Dr. Hubert Espira. I work in West Africa. Currently, I'm in West Africa in charge of 5, 6, 7 countries. So it's mostly coming to almost all the ECOWAS countries. So that's where I'm basically for the last a year, and it's a full year and some few weeks now since I came to West Africa. But before that, I've been in other multiple countries and other multi-donor institutions working there. So, but for today, basically, I would want those who follow me, if you check what I've posted today on my TikTok, those are free courses for monitoring and evaluation. Those are 10 free courses. Like, you have 10 free courses for monitoring and evaluation.
Thank you.
So if you go there, you can, there's a link, there's some links there, type it in your URL, you'll be able to do those free online courses. And the reason why I'm saying say today it's gonna be very short because you can't train monitoring and evaluation in just an hour because there's one part of monitoring and evaluation and learning which is called impact evaluation. Impact evaluation, like myself, it took me almost 3 months just to be trained in impact evaluation. So it's a very long process. So basically, you will just be able to see the basics of starting from what is monitoring and evaluation and why is it important, why do we need to do it, where do we sit with it. So we basically have that few things here and there. And before that, I think there are quite a number of jobs that when you were telling people to go on this UN side, I've seen quite a number of internship opportunities which are in Kenya. There's a political affairs intern, there's a research assistant intern, there are research assistants within the UNEP in Kenya, there's an administrative position in Kenya. So it's basically it's a lot of few things that here and there that you can be able to check on and you'll be able to be happy. So I will say that today I will be because it is if I start explaining it's a lot, but I think what watalala sijui saa saba usiku. So this one I'm gonna make it as short as possible. If there are things you don't understand, I will suggest you check those links and be able to take the courses. Because those are free online courses. So please go ahead and be able to take that. So Nyawi had requested me to just touch on issues on monitoring, introduction to monitoring, evaluation, and learning. How is it? What is the overview of this monitoring and evaluation? When you talk of monitoring and evaluation, you'll be looking at issues around the principles and practices of monitoring, evaluation, and learning. You'll be talking at how the importance of monitoring, evaluation, and learning in project management and also in organizational development. Project management is when you're applying monitoring, evaluation, and learning on a program. But at the organization level, we will be looking at the corporate monitoring, evaluation, and learning, where you're managing an institutional or organizational strategic plan, how you're tracking it, how we meeting it, how we fully implementing it, Then the key objectives is just to understand the concepts of monitoring, evaluation, and learning. Learn practical tools and techniques for effective monitoring and evaluation, enhance skills in data collection, analysis, and reporting, and also foster culture of learning and continuous improvement. Dream Girl, you're saying you're asking for which links? The links kindly mtu anapata wapi? Check if you're talking the links of the courses. If you look at my last post of today, I've done a post. I've just an image today of all the links. If you just check, you'll see on my profile. You'll be able to see that. So, what do we understand by monitoring and evaluation, and what is monitoring and evaluation? Monitoring. What is this? Because there's monitoring, there's evaluation, there's learning. What is monitoring? It basically refers to that systematic process or tracking of a project, or activities and outputs, so that you can be able to assess your progress towards achieving the program or the institutional objectives within the strategic plan. The purpose for you to be able to do monitoring, you're trying to ensure that activities are implemented the way you had planned, because you plan them. You also get to a point where you identify the potential issues early, because there are some of the issues that might result in your process. Try and be able to be in a position to create and document the issues that you're getting in the process, because that's why you monitor. Then also monitoring enables you to get informed or to make informed decisions, to be able to correct the issues and mitigate any problems that you are experiencing in the process. What are some of the key components around monitoring? And these we talk of in terms of indicators and targets. What are indicators? Indicators, I say, you can be able to say the number of school-going children if you're looking at a program. In an institution, you might say indicators can be the number of proposals written, the number of successful proposals, and set targets. You say you want to write how many proposals. I'll say my target is for the first quarter of the year, I want to write 100 proposals. Those are my target. What are your targets for this annual financial year? I want to have 30 successive proposals. You establish measurable indicators and targets to track your progress. That's how you come about on that. Another component around monitoring is being able to collect and analyze the data. You gather the relevant data within a program or project and be able to analyze it so that you can assess the performance of your program or the performance of an institution. Some of the examples illustrating the role of monitoring in different projects. So for instance, it can be in an agricultural project, you will be able to monitor the yields or the input usage. You monitor the usage of the fertilizer, which specific fertilizer, okay? Or you want to monitor the adoption. Maybe there's a new farming practice that is being utilized in India. Let's say there's a new farming product in Makueni, and you like to implement the same new practice in Kitale, Kirinyaga, Marsabit, Isiolo, Meru. Yeah? So you're in a position to be able to do that. So when we are talking of evaluation, what do we understand by evaluation? Evaluation involves assessing the effectiveness. Remember, monitoring is systematic tracking, while evaluation is assessing the effectiveness, efficiency, and the impact of your program or your project. What kind of evaluations do we deal with? Like in a day-to-day, which ones do we deal with? We have the formative evaluations, summative evaluations, and impact evaluations. Formative evaluations, these are just basically to conduct during a project implementation to be able to get the feedback, create a feedback loop, feedback mechanism for improvement, so that you can get information, be able to improve here and make changes as your project is being implemented. While summatives are conducted at the end of the project so that you can assess the outcomes and the impact. Because the summative evaluations, these ones we want to see the tangible results. What are the tangible results at the outcome level? Is there utilization? We're at the impact level. Have we changed the livelihoods of the people in a community, of the people in a certain setup? Have we impacted? If we are talking about the road, what is the impact of that road? So some of the steps involved in these kind of evaluations, and these ones basically, some of you, I know you have gone through some basic training on monitoring evaluation. When you're talking about the processes or the steps in the evaluation, there is a planning and designing phase. Okay, we have the data collection and analysis, creating your conclusions and making recommendations. Those are the three major areas or the steps of evaluation. You have to plan, you have to design, defining evaluation questions, selecting methodologies, and developing evaluation plans. You have to collect the data and analyze that data. And these can be done, there are various aspects now when it comes to data collection and data analysis. There's pen and paper, which normally nowadays it's not very common because of technology. Analyzing data, we have various softwares of data analysis. We have SPSS, Stata, Epidata, Python, Power BI. Like there's so many softwares outside there that are being used for data analysis. You know, then after you have done the analysis, you synthesize the information and be able now to create findings and assess the project objectives effectively, write the recommendations in line for the future actions. Because when you put in for the recommendation in place, you'll be like, now in future, you like this to be able to work with these and these platforms. You're making recommendations, you know. In the real world scenario, we can say, for example, is an education program that may conduct an impact evaluation to assess its contribution to increase student achievement. You know, how do we link monitoring then and evaluation? How do we link the two? Understanding the relationship between monitoring and evaluation provides an ongoing, because remember, when you're doing monitoring, you're providing an ongoing data for evaluation, and it helps you track the progress towards the project objectives. Because when you're monitoring, you're having that continuous assessment, which is you're collecting data continuously, which that data that you'll be able to use for evaluation. And this one will enable you also to try now to be able to track the progress of the project. Are you achieving your objectives? Are you achieving the set targets? So when we talk about how monitoring informs evaluation, I think we have heard of something we call baseline, the baseline data. So monitoring informs evaluation because it provides you with baseline data. It establishes the baseline for comparison. Where am I? Where am I going? My baseline data was this. After 6 months, this is where I am. So you have a comparison. Monitoring establishes that baseline for comparison and helps you be in a position to measure the progress over time. It also informs this how. Tracking progress over time. How does that tracking progress over time helps you in evaluation? Because that monitoring data, it will be used to assess trends and what are some of these changes towards within that project performance. It also enables you to identify areas for improvement. Monitoring highlights areas where interventions may not be achieved. Like some of the interventions are not working because they're not achieving the desired outcomes. It will be able to inform the future evaluations and adjustments. Where should I adjust? Where should I make changes? Because I'm in a position to learn and make the necessary changes. We can use a case study. For example, a health program might use monitoring data on vaccination coverage to inform on an evaluation of the program's impact on reducing disease incidences. Because we have the data, we have the baseline data. How are we covering it? Are we improving it, or the mothers are hiding their kids? At one point, you realize that some of the vaccination, there's some myths around it, maybe issues of, they'll say maybe you're administering family planning to the young ones without their knowledge. You're administering so there's those problems here and there. So those are some of the key things that we also look at. So it can be able to inform that. Now we have done the monitoring, we have done the evaluation. We have to learn from what we have done. We have to learn from what we have monitored. We have to learn from what we have evaluated. Now it's time for us to put together the knowledge part of monitor and evaluation. So this is where now we bring together the learning component. Learning involves using data and insights from the monitoring and evaluation to adapt and improve project interventions. We learn from the mistakes. We learn from the best practices that we are there that we have already obtained, so that we create a knowledge hub. We document the best practices. What are some of these good things that we have done that have the highest impact? Remember, anyone here who is in the business field, we have the Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. Invest 20% and get maximum impact 80%. Low risk, high return. That is where the learning part of monitoring and evaluation comes in. Learning in adaptive management and organization, it is very effective. And why is it important? Because learning enables organizations to respond to changing contexts. It enables you as a M&D officer within that project to respond to the emerging issues. You are in a setup whereby maybe the religion, you didn't know the religion is very strong in that community. So you're in a position to change your intervention. You're in a position to change your progress. How are you going to get into the community? It enables you to improve the program effectiveness and maximize the impact of your project, so that there's no wastefulness of resources. How are we in a position to create a learning culture within organizations? You as a monitoring evaluation officer, how will you enable that institution that you're working for? How are you going to enable yourself? And monitoring and evaluation is a day-to-day. So it's not just like monitoring and evaluation is just meant for that officer who is calling himself as an M&D officer. No. You can be a front office administrator. You can be a customer service. You can be a sales rep. You can be a HR. You can be a public relations. You can be an IT officer. You deploy monitoring, evaluation, and learning within your job. You deploy it within the job. You as a front office officer, let's say you are the receptionist, you will monitor how you interact with the institutional clients. How do they come to the job? The clients will have a feedback mechanism. The HR will be, say, when they do the customer satisfaction survey, you'll have to monitor and evaluate how effective you are. Maybe they said, when we come to your office, the first face we receive, she's not happy, she's not mellow, she's not warm, she's not welcoming. You learn from that. You understand, oh, I should not always the time be putting a serious face when the clients coming to the office. I need to talk to them with a smile, put a smile on my face. Hey, how can I help you? Hello, sir, how are you? How is your morning? Are you doing well? How is your day? Oh, do you need some water? Can I offer you some water? You know? That one, it shows how some of the activities you'll be able to, because there's always, within the customer satisfaction, there's always those feedback. Because someone will ask you, oh, how would you like to be treated when you come to the office? They'll say A, B, C, D. That is learning. We have the knowledge sharing platform. So you have that aspect of learning, getting to know some of the few things that you need to learn yourself. Okay? Creating a learning culture within organization. How do we do that? By creating an environment where there's reflection and analysis of data. We have to encourage you as a supervisor, you as a boss somewhere there. How are you encouraging your staff to reflect on monitoring and evaluation findings and analyze that for implications towards program implementation? Because you have to encourage your team. Even yourself, you're always told, how do I, even in your marriage, even in your relationship, you have to also, you conduct a M&D. What are my actions? You ask yourself, why is it that every time in the house I'm having issues with my boyfriend? Why is it in the house every time I'm having issues with my husband or wife? Why is it all the time I'm having issues with my kids? It might be because there is a deep-seated problem, a baseline, underlying cause, root cause of your problem that you have not identified, and you evaluate, where did it start from? What is the cause? Learn from it, make the changes, make the adjustments. If the problem is finances, sit down with your family, sit down with your boyfriend and say, okay, we're earning this much, and this much we need to plan, budget this and that. This is how we're going to use our finances. You tend to find that you're doing very well. Sharing lessons learned. Have you shared the lessons? Talk to your kids. Like, if you're now learning in the house, in a household setting, do you talk to your kids? Give them your life's learning. Why? What made you change who you are today? Why do you have learned A, B, C, D here and there? At your workplace, what are the learnings? What are these knowledge? You have harnessed the knowledge. You have put the knowledge in one place. Have you harnessed that knowledge? Yes. How are you going to share the same knowledge with your staff? By being able to share that knowledge, promoting knowledge sharing and dissemination of best practices within the organization. How do now we need to ensure we come up in the sense that incorporating feedback into decision-making processes? It is very, very key that we use the feedback from monitoring and evaluation to inform strategic decisions and program design. If it means changing the program design, we have to change the program design. If it means we have to sit back and ask ourselves, when we started, we had a mistake. Why? We set unrealistic objectives. We set unrealistic goals. Our objectives are not smart. Now, how do we come up with smart objectives? That is the starting point now. Then we are in a position to be able now to say, you know what? We go back on our drawing board, make everything afraid, readjust, make adjustments, and learn and use those best practices that we already have now to make decisions. And these will be informed decisions. Examples of learning in a very practical setting. I will say, for example, me being working with, I've worked with both Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the World Bank. Organizations such as Bill and Melinda Gates and the World Bank have implemented robust learning frameworks to continuously improve their programs and initiatives. And these are learning frameworks that are being updated biannually. Every 6 months, they come and sit down. They have a whole knowledge management and learning team. They sit down, they have harnessed the knowledge and the information across and put together. And the biggest reason why most institutions do the knowledge harvesting or the learning part of the mail is there are some times whereby you have high, how do you call it, Nyawi, in HR, when almost you're losing staff. It's
turnover.
Yeah, the employee
High staff
turnover.
turnover.
Yeah, high staff turnover is like, if you're having high staff turnover, you can imagine how do you harness that information? Nyawi is leaving. She'll be our best HR. She's leaving. She has been setting up very good standards in HR. How do you harness that information before she leaves? So that there's historical data, there's historical information. So a new HR comes in, will go through that best practice that Nyawi was using to be able to improve on it and make adjustments on it and run smoothly. Those are how best practices operate. And that is one of the key things we need to look at. So in an institutional setting, you have a team, you are a supervisor of field interviewers. You had 4 or 5 interviewers who are doing very well. Why were they doing very well? Why were they very productive? They were giving you quality data. They were very time effective. The efficiency was very high. And the turnover of the interviews were very high. That is the knowledge you need to harvest, harness, and store, and be able to use it as a best practice. What are some of the tools and techniques that you can use when it comes to monitoring and evaluation? There's one person, I think, if you read the comments in your videos, I think they from down going up, maybe it might be 6 or 7. She had mentioned, like, kindly try and talk of the log frames. There's someone who had talked about talking about the log frames, if I'm not wrong. Yeah,
Yes, you're
Sarah.
right. She's called, yes, Janji.
Yeah. So,
And I'm recommending her to you. I really want you to help her out.
so one of the key things is, like, when it comes to the tools and techniques for mail, now the log frames become one of the number one tools. When I'm doing a program, I have to come up with a logical framework. A logical framework is just a tool of designing, monitoring, and evaluating projects. Like, how would I want to design? How would I want to design? I design my project. How would I want to monitor my project? And how will I want to monitor it, to evaluate it? Am I doing midterm evaluations or end-term evaluations, or in between? Will there be some formative evaluations that I will be doing, just to inform me, to be able to tell me here and there, this is how much I've done it, So using a logical framework to outline project objectives and activities, outputs, outcomes, and indicators. So that framework needs to be comprehensive, so that you can be able to analyze everything in entirety. So that is one of the biggest aspects in that. So how are we going to do this? So, and as I said, we're just doing a basic overview. So if you want to dive into details, kindly go through those the free online courses. You'll learn a lot from them. Okay. Then we have a results framework. Similar to the log frames, results frameworks provide a visual representation of project goals, objectives, indicators, so that you can be helped to track the progress and assess the impact of your project. Because a results framework is clear, because you are very clear, these are my goals, and what this goal is, I have this goal. So this goal is aligned to this objective. So what are these objectives? What are the indicators for these objectives? So I have the indicators for that objective. All the indicators for that objective enable me to track the project. I'll be able to say, on these indicators, I've achieved this, then I'll be able to assess the impact across each and every objective, or I can decide to say, what is my impact across each and every indicator? You have a clear clarity, and please don't mix the two, the logical frameworks and the result frameworks. Those are two different things. Then we have the theory of change. What is a theory of change? A tool for articulating the underlying assumptions. A tool for articulating the underlying assumptions and pathways of change that guide project interventions. You have underlying assumptions. You have already articulated your underlying assumptions. And then, what are these pathways of change that are going to guide you towards your interventions? They help you to clarify causal relationships and inform evaluation design. So the theory of change, you'll have a narrative, then you'll have a structure, a diagram, a vicious circle diagram that is showing how the different components interlink here and there, so you can be in a position now to clearly say, I'm here, I can do this and that. Then we have data collection methods. These are tools now for tools and techniques. We have the data collection methods. The data collections, you can do surveys, interviews, focus group discussions. These are just various methods of enabling you to be able to collect the data in both quantitative and qualitative. And they enable you to be in a position to assess the project performance and gather stakeholders' perspectives. The quantitative, you can be able to analyze, create graphs, be able to create a platform somewhere. For the qualitative, it will be able to give you the perceptions, feelings, that's the formative part of it. Then you have the data analysis techniques. How would you like to analyze your data? Can be statistical analysis for quantitative and thematic analysis for qualitative data. Okay? To identify trends and patterns or insights within there. Let's say, for example, a water sanitation project might use a log frame to outline project objectives, indicators, and activities. Then you are in a position to conduct surveys and interviews to collect the data on water quality and community perception. Then what will be the impact of that water sanitation project? The impact is when you are having less people going to the hospitals for waterborne diseases. The impact is when that community there's increased food security, because where any point where there's bad health, there's no production of food. Anywhere where there's no health, there are no people going for, like, who will serve even the facilities? Will those nurses, cleaners in the hospitals come? No. There's less productivity in terms of human workforce. So those are some of the key things that we also end up looking at. Okay. The other aspect we look at is in terms of how do we now build the male capacity. Building the male capacity within organizations is very important because you strengthen the male and learning. The male capacity enables organizations to effectively, to monitor and evaluate their programs, learn from their experiences, and improve program effectiveness. It enables you to have strategies that are in place by being able to train and do the skill development. And these are just, I'll mention some of the 3 strategies around building the male capacity, because training and skill development, establish male systems and processes, mentoring, and peer learning. Those are the key areas, the key strategies that you can be able to build a male capacity. There's on-job training. People are attending workshops, doing and directing them to the right paths where they can be able to understand some of the key aspects of courses, gain certificates here and there, certificates of participation, Some NGOs might implement a comprehensive male training program for staff members, resulting in improved data collection, analysis, and reporting capabilities across the organization. Some NGOs have an MOU with certain institutions, and they've signed that so the various members of the various staff members who have certain capacity or they have interest in certain skills, they join the institutions, and when they join the online platform, like for us, we have one online training platform, whereby it's an internal platform with one of the universities. So we go there and be able to access over 20,000 online courses for free. So different institutions have different kind of ways of how they operate. So if today I feel like I want to learn Python, I'll get to the online and be able to check and see, will I be able to do Python? Am I interested in Python? Just look at the overall aspect of it and be able to learn. So I don't want to delve so much. So in conclusion, I would say monitoring, evaluation, and learning are essential components for effective project management and organizational development. And not only organizational development. And I always like putting these things back to our way on our own social life. We as human beings, I as Hubert, I'll have to do my own assessment. I'll do personal life skills as monitoring, evaluation, and learning. I'll do job monitoring, evaluation, and learning. Because as I am a father, I love to understand how I deal with my kids, how I interact with my kids, how do I improve skills training with my kids, how do I improve skills training with my own friends. Then I go back now to my professional aspect of monitoring and evaluation programs, my job, quite a bigger area of stuff that I need to be able to look at. Monitoring involves tracking projects, activities, and outputs, while evaluation assesses project effectiveness. Remember that. Monitoring involves tracking project activities and outputs. Activities and outputs. But when we are talking of evaluation, we are doing assessment of project effectiveness and impact. And the latter, learning. Learning enables organizations to adapt and improve their programs. Every day is a learning process. It is not a static, it's a learning process. We learn, we improve, and we build on like that. That is, in a nutshell, what is monitoring, evaluation, and learning. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Dr. Hubert? Any questions? Please just type them. Let me just check from the top if there were any questions.
There's someone who had mentioned when you were starting, he said he has done monitoring and evaluation, but he doesn't have a certificate. Can you get online and be able to look for the ones that you have that have certificates, please? Because there are some of the courses that you get certificates for them, so that you can show exactly what you have, even if it's a certificate of participation or certificate of completion. Because I know some will give you certificate of completion, which is okay, because you have gone through it and you have merited, you completed it successfully. So that's why you can get the certificate of completion.
Yeah, I've seen the comment. Another person is asking about opportunities within the same area. Where would you recommend? Where could they check once in a while?
Yeah, because and also I said there's the Relief Web site that clearly it has quite a number of opportunities. If you go to Relief Web, if you just type online Relief Web, you'll find quite a number of opportunities around monitoring and evaluation. Just check what educational level are they looking. Are they looking for an M&D officer? And if you are in Kenya, look for Path. Path they do a lot of monitoring and evaluation. Look for Path, and they do the regional. Some are in Kisii, Kisumu, Turukana. Just check Path. You should be able to see that. Also, Catholic Relief Services, they also do some monitoring and evaluation. So just check online what kind of opportunities do they have. You'll be able to apply from that point, and be able to move on from there.
There's a question from Sarah to you.
How can you advise on documentation? Documentation in terms of because documentation comes in when you're talking of issues of knowledge management and learning, and you're talking about documentation. It's I'm doing a presentation that is happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. and one of the key things is the sharing using knowledge and learning platforms. Number three part of that is documentation and sharing lesson learned, best practices, success stories. And so when you're talking of documentation, you need to ask yourself, documentation in terms of what? Are you sharing the knowledge, sample the knowledge repositories? Because documentation means you have the online tools that will enable you to do data repository. And these are preserving the knowledge. By when you're doing the documentation, you are storing the data so everyone can be able to access it. So what is the importance of that? Why to document? Why to have that repository for that information? This one is just to increase visibility, monitor usage, and analyze the behavior. Look at the efficient management of the document knowledge, to enhance collaboration and communication between different units or departments. Data repository is just it can be an online tool. Let's say you've created an online file. This one can be, some of them, like the basic ones we use is Dropbox, Google Drive, where we store our data online, the cloud service, where we put our data online. Okay, so this one is just we have those repositories, one repository, so that we can reduce the information silos. Okay, and also it enables you, the importance of documentation. It enables you to have an organized taxonomy. And I think Sarah, you know what is taxonomy when it comes to information management. Taxonomy is in terms of sorry, it wasn't Nyawi Pravel, it was me. It's in terms of repository data taxonomy. Let's say IT, we have LIFO, FIFO, last in, last out, last in, first out, first in, first out. So the taxonomy are you putting in data in terms of the day that it came in? Are you storing your data in terms of alphabetically A, B to Z? Are you storing the data in terms of the theme area or the sector? Is it health, agriculture, name it? So that is how it's up. And then it also enhances efficiency in terms of when you're looking for data. So documentation is very important in that regard. So documentation is so key.
All right. Any other query for Dr. Hubert?
Yes, Murungu, Miss Murungu, you can take online course. So that's why I said, if you're following me, kindly check my last post. I think, let me see if my other phone is on so I can. Questions, just post your questions there. We'll respond to them. Because if you're on LinkedIn, there's a M&D for professionals, huh? And the M&D for professionals, they have free online courses. That's what I'm saying. If you just check on that, you'll be able to see everything that you need. So there's M&D for professionals. So if you look at the M&D for professionals, you'll get all the information you need, all the free online courses. So there's monitoring and evaluation by Family Health Initiative 360. There's an M&D course which are free, the disaster ready. There's an M&D course for measure evaluation, which is free. There's an M&D course for designing and implementing monitoring and evaluation systems, free. There's introduction to monitoring and evaluation, free. Another one offering another introduction to monitoring and evaluation, monitoring and evaluation. Like, so there are 10, literally. You have 10 free online courses for monitoring and evaluation professionals. And I've taken a screenshot of this and put on my TikTok story. So if you check, you'll find it there. The M&D that needed across, because not necessarily NGOs, even in the private sector, there's an M&D application. Even in government, That's why you realize even in government, there's monitoring and evaluation unit or directorate. Like in Kenyan government right now, the monitoring and evaluation sits. There's a directorate for it, but the main M&D sits in the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Now also the Minister for Foreign Affairs. In the office of Madam Agnes Odhiambo, the former controller of budget, that monitoring the development agenda of the government. So M&D is needed across. And M&D in NGO world, it's mainly used for at the programmatic level and at the corporate level. Within the projects, either health, education, governance, agriculture, mental health, name it. So it cuts across.
Someone says that they would like to inbox you. I don't know if that's possible now.
No, my inbox for the DM on TikTok, it's not functioning. Apparently, we flouted the rules by sharing phone number and emails there. So they flagged they flagged my inbox. So they blocked it for I think 2 months. I think so till the end of April, something of the sort, if I'm not wrong. So
Okay.
tumefungiwa kidogo, but if they something urgent, nitumie a message. We can be able to read my number. Yesterday, I think I gave out my number. Also, Miller number 0748.
Let me find it now.
It's in Africa. Just kindly check my last just go to my TikTok and check what I posted. The one that is you'll just see I posted something. I think it was like 3 hours ago, if I'm not wrong.
So number ya doc for anyone that would like to connect and your doc amsaidie in any way possible. The number is 0748 22 8163 0748 22 8163 mwisho, right? Sita, or rather 63 at the end. Yeah, so yeah, even better. I think just out of curiosity, does reporting differ according to different donors ama ziko same? Aya daktari, swali kwako.
No, reportings are different. Reportings are quite different, Sarah. Different donors have their different formats of reporting. Most donors will come up with their own way of reporting. So you'll tend to find that they have already how do I call it, a template of reporting. So different reportings are different. So you like basically it's quite like it cuts across. Like if you give me the mandate, the leeway of doing a reporting, I will do it my way. But the donor wants the report. They always want the reports in their own way. So they'll give you a template on how to report on. So reporting is cuts are quite different. Different also. Which sector are you dealing with? If is it agriculture? Is it health? Is it education? Is it mining? Is it business? So environment. So it cuts across like differently on that. And Nyawi said that the UN is coming. It's not the UN or the UN that is coming to Nairobi. So don't think that Kenya will be hosting the entire UN fraternity. It's the United Nations Population UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, if I'm not UNFPA is the one that is coming to Kenya because they want to be closer to the people.
So watume CV, apply kazi
ziko tafuteni. But I know they will be looking for quite a number, and that's why that UN portal it plays a key role because a number of people get jobs from there.
Yeah, they will. They should take advantage of those opportunities. It's been a while since UN had such jobs. It's It's been a
Yeah, it's
while.
been a
So
while.
let
It's
them,
been a while.
we take
Nyabo,
advantage.
what is Nyabo saying? Niko na concern.
Can one apply for multiple jobs at the UN? What do you think, Hubert?
I always try to tell people, sorry, and this is the reason why there's someone I told to apply for a job in the institution. Then they went ahead and shot themselves on the foot.
What did they do?
Multiple application. If you are applying a job in one institution, stop applying for 2 or 3 jobs in the same institution. Choose one that meets your, like it meets exact everything that you do. You are within it. You are qualified for that. You know, you can defend yourself in that. When you apply for 2 or 3 jobs, we always say this person is gambling. He or she is not sure what she wants. Yes, Sarah, they're very different. Child protection, first of all, they have NDS. All the reports for child protection, they have NDS. Because we are most of the time we are dealing with minors. So they will always have the NDA. At the end of the day, if I send that report, like for us, what we are using this side is at the end of the report, I have to sign the report down. And if I don't need to sign that, it means at the initial start of the project, I was given an NDA, I signed it, and I send it back the copy to the donor. So always those things are different. Then reporting of environment, the environment have different indicators. So the progress on how even the frequency of collecting and reporting on those indicators is quite different.
So a few people had reached out. They would like you to mentor them. So now that we've shared your number, I'll wait a few
When it
calls.
comes to mentorship, we'll just open one, and I don't want more than 15 people. No, that will be too many. Normally, I take 10. Like for
How
mentorship,
will
I
you
take only
control?
10.
How will you control that? First come,
Like,
first serve.
yes, because it's easier, because having too many people, you don't serve them very well.
True, true.
Mm.
Okay.
So the other option is to do fully for the first 10 people for 3 months, and then the other ones for 3 months, then we do a rotation.
Yeah, that would work. Okay. All right.
Rebecca, remember the UN agencies, we call it's an integrated system. Don't think because the UN volunteers has given you an identifier UN 123 PFP, then the UN carriers will give you UN 274 FPI. There's a way within the integrated systems where they merge. Remember, the back end of that system, there's an AI that picks all your information. So when you're applying for a job in one system, always ensure, and that the good thing I always say for the UN part of it, when you're applying for a job for the UN or you are creating your profile within the UN, put everything, because that it has not limited you, but because you're applying for a specific job. No. Ensure you put your comprehensive CV there, starting with your best qualification that cuts across some of the key areas of the UN that you are interested in. If it's around UN volunteers or within the child protection, ensure you are there. Okay. And then when you do that, so it easily mirrors what you need within the system. So when they come in and you're applying for a specific job, you'll be able to just to tap and goes, tap and goes. So all the CVs, you realize that even in the UN volunteers, the same CV you put in the UN volunteers, the same CV you put in the UN careers. So there's no difference. Winnie, there's no best paid job. I will say it's how you negotiate and how you negotiate for your salary. So, like Tim's assistant that Nyawiye said, like that, the advantage of the UN, there are benefits. So most, if you go for these big institutions, Even as a cleaner, you have a benefit. You have a medical cover, you have your leave days, like that, those benefits. Joel, which website are you trying to get on LinkedIn that you're saying in Akata? Lapis, you want to buy your slot now? How many dollars do you wanna pay me? The remote jobs, I'm trying to check on some sites, and I don't. I love to send an email to my colleague back in Germany to find out what's going on with that site, unless if they've changed it without my knowledge, because it's not giving me what I was expecting from it. So if I get the information on it, I'll be able to give you feedback. For the mentorship, reach out to Nyawi, and then we'll be able to do that. And sometime when I'm in Nairobi, I think we'll be able to have some nyamachoma lunch with a specific group or number of people, and then we can catch up and just have a catch up on for maybe 2 3 hours on that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Gigi, it depends which job. As long as you have remember, as a Form 4, if you're waiting for your certificate, results slip still operate as a formal document. Yeah? So some of it will allow it, just you need to justify why. Sarah, tomorrow's class on documentation is not a class. It's one of my programs. I have a program across West Africa for 7 countries. So I'm training 35 implementers, sub grantees on the ground who are implementing a program for me. So I'm just training them. I want them to be able, because this is the last phase of the project. So they need to be able to document quite a lot of information and be able to, if you have done an impact, let's say from your project, the municipality or the district has been able to come up with an action plan that is enabling them to do very well, a policy document. So we need to catch, students have used the data to be able to do their PhDs or masters or academics, you document that information somewhere within. And so, yeah, so basically that is what we are looking at. I'm a candidate, but have not yet been successful. What do you mean you're a candidate? You applied? Did they respond to you? Have you gotten any response from them? That's a question I love to ask so that I can get to understand. No, that's fine, Rebecca. I told you that is fine. Applying for UN volunteers is an open thing. So applying in careers, the UN, they'll get back to you. Some of these institutions take too long. I can't lie to you. I applied for a position at African Union, which was during COVID. I think I think COVID ended in 2022 fully. Yeah. So I applied during COVID time. That was in was it April or May? I got a communication from the AU last month. I got a communication from them last month. The guy calls me and tells me, Doc, I would like to work with you. And then I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm already occupied. I can't. Thank you for considering me. No, but like, some of the positions is more of urgency and the availability of funds. So you find some of the position whereby there are funds, you will tend to get the jobs like that immediate, and some of them that put the timeline, like we need this position to be filled by this date. So those ones always have the timeline. So don't worry about that, Gigi, in terms of your application and time. My daughter's the short form of my daughter's name is Gigi. So will apply kama volunteer ni kama to job ama? Yeah, volunteer is a job, Gigi. It's a job within the UN volunteers. UN volunteers is a job. These people get paid very well. They can be sent even to Uganda to go and work, Ethiopia. Like they are cohorts. Some of the sometimes you find that the Kenyan cohort is taken to Addis for 6 months. So it's quite a different. Depends which part of the UN you are in. Some of the volunteers will just work in Kenya. Yeah. Faith, the UN volunteers is that's the way the Rebecca was saying. UN volunteers. It's just will UN volunteers apply for it. Just go online and check will UN volunteers. Keep on doing your best, my dear Rebecca. Keep on. Don't give up. Giving up is for the faint-hearted. We are not faint-hearted.
No.
We are very strong, and we have the big and the aura of being everything as we want. Keep checking your profile and also your email, because at times also check your spam. I realize some people, most of their emails go to the spam and notice, and they forget that even they were contacted.
So, should we now, Doc, would you love to maybe say something as we close this?
Unless there's nothing else for me, thank you so much for listening. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm hoping to catch up, meet some of you when I get to Kenya. We'll have I will discuss with Nyawi so we can be able to meet some of you physically.
Okay.
And just have a chat, catch up. Catching up is not bad.
Yep.
Then yeah, we see what next on that. But I'm grateful, and let's keep on. I know acha niongee Kiswahili kidogo ndio watu wajue pia mimi ni Mkenya bana. Naweza sahau kuongea Kiswahili jamani.
Hawezi.
Naweza sahau kuongea Kiswahili. I become like my daughters who talk to me in Swahili like English people.
Hata Kiluya ukitaka utaongea.
Kiluya nang'ang'ana. I get to a point whereby I get really stuck. I switch back to Giriama. I get stuck.
All right.
Yeah, so it's been real. So I know it's quite late. Oof. Is it 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 minutes to.
Yep. So thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated. I know some have already chatted me. I will deal with your messages after I've prepared my cup of coffee and my sandwich for the night. Then I'll respond to your messages.
Good one. Yes. Msisahau siku hizi watu na force issues Tukisikia doc akisema sijui session, sijui tunaanza na watu 10, then 10 more. Force issues kwa messages mpaka kusaidie. Mtu ni kujitetea. Mtu ni kujitetea. Yeah. Nikikwambia experience ya doc, I think I mentioned the other time. He will not tell you kila kitu. He just mention atapitia tu juu kidogo. But doc can really help you. So get in touch with him. You have his number. Chat him. And I wish you the very best. Take advantage. Take advantage. Whenever we have someone like Doc, nuko kwa hiyo field yake, explore. Sindio? To get crush ndio hiyo sasa. Mtaget crush. Yes. Na pia uzuri ni ajawapatia TikTok. Amesema mchat kwa namba yake. Yeah, so take advantage. Yeah, I hope mtasaidika and I know you will. I was telling them the other day about what was the name of this lady? The lady that we assisted 2022 towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she still working?
Yeah, she's still working.
Okay?
Even the daughters like was it today? Yeah, today I saw the daughter chatted me asking me how I'm doing. I called her, we talked. Yeah, they were just coming from church. We just spoke and just got to know how they're
That's
quite
good. Thank you.
Yeah, so she's mentally stable now, and like before when she was breaking down.
Yeah, I remember you also had a session with Ernest as well as a few people last 2022. That was 2022.
Yeah.
Last year you got really held up. Ernest has been doing well. Last year was tough, eh?
It was crazy.
Yeah, so I'm glad to have you back. Thank you for always stepping up. But the doc, unajua hujai decline. Anytime I've asked you to come on the live, you're always like, anytime, let's do this. Imagine. So thank you.
Inaitwa kujituma.
Kujituma. Someone say namba yako haiko WhatsApp.
My number, see, but like there's someone by like Brenda. Brenda's already chatted me
on WhatsApp, eh?
Yeah. If you want to get me easily because I'm out of the country, ensure you do +254.
Umesikia?
Because at times you will do just the normal number like that. It brings some small technicalities, but just do +254. You should be able to like reach me properly.
Hope umempata kwa hiyo number. Yeah. I know it's quite late. Thank you for being here. Hope you've learned a thing or two. This doc's number 0745, right? 793 343, sindio? So yes.
Yes, whose number is that?
That's not your number?
No, I don't know whose number is that.
Please don't take that number. So you're gonna mute Brian. Brian, your number gani umenipatia hapo? Alright, you guys have docs number, sindio? Yeah, number yako ilikuwa 0748.
Yeah. 0748228163.
Pole. Rudia tena.
0748228163.
Good one. Napata number. So DM daktari on WhatsApp and I wish you the very best. So kama una believe in the story ya destiny helper, nisha connect. Kazi kwako. Kazi kwako, si ndio? Mimi nishafanya part yangu. Kazi kwako.
Yep.
So I wish you the very best, guys. I know there's quite a number that have had the interest with monitoring and evaluation. So Doc, nijenge pande hiyo, and I know you will. So what's the next topic? What's the next topic?
I don't know. This the team here can the team that is here can decide to choose a topic to hear what it is.
What would you like to hear from Doc next? Let me know. What topic can he handle? Let me know.
Okay. We have seen your message because yako imefika. There was someone who did for us resource mobilization. Alikuwa nani sasa?
I think so. Lakini ni kitambo. Naona public speaking, application on mail. What else? If there's a topic you'd like Doc to handle, here he is. Tubaki hapo ama wapi daktari? Resource mobilization ama tufikirie?
just note them down. Hizo zenye umeandika, hizo zenye umesema. Public speaking. Who wants to be a public speaker?
Everybody needs that as a skill.
Someone needs that as a skill.
Everybody needs that as a skill. Because inasaidia hata kwa interview.
Kuna wale wenye wana freeze, wanafika kwa interview wana freeze.
Vibaya sana. Yeah.
I think the last time I think I went for, when was it? I think it was 2009
Interview.
when I went for interview at GSK. Then this Indian guy with the accent. Me, instead of answering questions, I was laughing because he was pronouncing medical terms wrongly. You don't, because you can't correct him. You know, it's an interview, so you can't correct the person. You know. Then so some of the things. So okay, in the process of laughing, I lose content in my head. So you fumble. So I told the guy, do me a favor. I know everything you've asked me. Give me 15 minutes. Let me go out and come back. So I left the interview room, went out. So the HR followed me. The HR was Kenyan. So she followed me outside. Then she like, okay, what's the problem? But he is not reading the medical terms correctly. So I'm trying, I don't want to ask him if he means this and if he gets offended. Because whatever he pronounces in medical, it means a completely different thing. So I might be answering a completely different thing from what he is asking. Then the lady was like, "Oh, sorry. Let me ask him to give someone else the questions to ask you." So when we went back to the interview room, that's when then they're like, "You guy, you're smart. Have you been working for pharmaceutical industry?" I'm like, the biosequence that you're using for the antibiotics, that's my sequencing. You're using my markers, so I know everything you're asking me. So the guy was like, and why is it you haven't written in your CV? I'm like, so you guys decided to patent it, so I can't put it in my CV. And I kept quiet. You know, that's how the interview ended, and they stopped interviewing everyone else. But I told them the position I gave me so is too low, so I can't work for you guys. Let me go back to the lab.
Okay.
So the panic, I know how it works with the job. You tend to have a lot of information in your head, but when you're talking, you're being asked the information, you're focused on all the questions. So that's why I always say it's very, very important in an interview session. Have a notebook. Note your questions down. Wewe si AI hii utakumbuka kila kitu.
Yes.
Write all the questions because you're becoming a passive listener. Yep. Write down. When you write down, a human brain is a very amazing human brain. It's like an AI system. Do you know it pangas everything, like from one to the end. And the way you're answering those questions, you'll be finding yourself, you have answered 4 questions without your knowledge. By the time you're reading the second and third questions, you have already answered all of them. So always it's very important for you to note down some of the information that you're getting. So it's very, very good. Very, very good. Yes, it's so easy to forget things. It's so easy to forget. So it's always important to note everything down. Right. Okay, sasa my dears, nawapenda sana. Thank you so much. For those whom we will interact in a different setting, tutapatana. Nimeshukuru sana. Thank you for your time. I want to make a cup of coffee. So if you have sent me a message, I need to make my sandwich and my coffee. So I will only have 1 hour to engage. There's one person I'm gonna call. You are lucky because I'll have to call directly. There's something you've sent, so I'll call you directly. I hope you're sleeping.
Who
So
be
I will
that?
call you. I will call you. No, it's okay. I will call the person so that we'll have to discuss. Then, yeah, no. After this, when you're done, we'll talk. I'll call you. Then we'll discuss on it before I call the person.
Okay. One more question. So should we go with Sarah's topic?
It's okay. Resource. Sarah says resource mobilization.
Yeah. In general.
Sarah, sasa unataka kunirudisha class proposal writing tupate grants mostly from institutional donors. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you general overview on that. That's okay. There's no problem with that. We can work with that. But I'll check my calendar so that I can be able to tell you Nyawi, exactly the day I am free.
Okay.
Because I know from around 11th, this 10th, 11th of this month, Ramadan starts in my country because this country is 97% Islam. So from 10th till the end of Ramadan, there'll be a lot of free time in between because there's no much will be happening. So yeah, but I'll tell you the timing. Which tomorrow is a Monday. Monday is a busy day. Let's see. I'll tell you.
Okay. All right. I'll appreciate. All right.
Yeah, okay.
So, Jioni njema, Doc, and to you all, I can't wait to get to bed. I'm exhausted. To you all, mlale salama. Do you use Senegal code ama Kenyan code? Hey, jibu hiyo.
Ati?
Atumie code ya Senegal ama atumie code ya Kenya kwa
The
namba
number
ngapi?
the number I've given you, that is a Kenyan number. So use the Kenyan code. In Senegal, our numbers are so different. Kenya nyinyi mnaanzanga na zero. Us, we don't have a zero in our numbers. As we're dialing numbers, we just start 7 as it goes. So
Alright.
use the Kenyan code. Use the Kenyan code.
Alright. Mimi nikiendelea hapa na lala hapa kwa live. So thank you so much, Doc. And to you all, mulale salama. See you again tomorrow at 11.